Edge on the Sixers. I got to be honest with you.
Losing my edge.
I don't know what I'm going through here. I'm hoping people can get me through this.
Well,
I had all kinds of anticipation and maybe some excitement. The Sixers could really do something. I guess I was told that. Like they could really do something. When I looked at them shape the roster, okay, well, Paul George is Paul George. And I don't know he's the same Paul George, by the way. And then I started to think about I wasn't happy about the fact they loaded up on all these older role players who really have just a little bit of a shelf life left. And you never know when it's going to be good one night or bad the next night. And then I got hit with the mindset of this season, which became unimportant. And how all the fans were convinced that it was a good thing that the early season really wasn't important. That it really only counted when they start the playoffs in freaking March. And I'm going, no, I don't feel good about that. And now I see that he might not play again because of illness tomorrow, that he is questionable. And I'm going, who's invested in this season? Like, can we as fans be optimistic that the team and the organization itself is invested in the season? Because right now, it sure doesn't look that way.
It doesn't. And I know the easiest talking point, the main talking point is Joel Embiid. And we've criticized him. I don't like that he looked completely out of shape in the second half against the Magic on Saturday night. There's a lot of stuff that we talk about with Joel. But there's a question that I threw out to you last week, and I'm going to ask you again. At what point do we start questioning Nick Nurse? Because, yes, you don't have Joel and you've battled injuries and Maxey, but you're supposed to have a better team. You're supposed to have a deeper bench. You went out, you got a lot of veterans. The only kid who's performing is the rookie, because this team right now is last in scoring. They're second to last in rebounding. They're last in assists. They're last in field goal percentage. They're second to last in three-point percentage. They're second to last in blocks. At what point, though, do the coaching need to do a better job with the players you have on the court? Should they really be, even without Joel and Maxey, should they really be in the bottom of all those categories?
Maybe they don't have a better team.
And that's the sad reality. Maybe this team stinks.
Maybe it's not a team that the coach can do anything with.
Oh, that would be heartbreaking.
You see all these little things that we have to look at here? Has it been shot in the ass, this concept of this big three is going to lead them to greater riches? Already? Has that been shot in the ass? Are we actually thinking that this magically these guys can float back down, parachute onto a basketball floor, and that team, now with all three of them, will be able to be one of the better teams in this league?
Oh, man. I mean, what do we have other than hope at this point? I know hope is not a plan, but we have to hope that when these three actually play together, which you haven't seen, that maybe you're right, but they're not going to be able to play an entire basketball game. So what happens when the big three's not on the court together? Are we going to see the same stuff we've been seeing?
The main guy is not ready to play. The main guy is not ready to play. We're in mid-November. Training camp started how long ago? The main guy is not ready to play, and I don't know. Are people still permissive with it? I'm no longer permissive with it. I wasn't permissive with it when he wasn't playing in the preseason games or when they were ready to start the season, when people were permissive. This is what's making me nuts.
He can't miss tonight. He can't, Mike. I mean, even if he plays, there's no guarantee they win the game.
Well, this is the thing. If he plays, he still has an excuse.
That he was under the weather?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When does it stop?
Mike, I've been battling you on this, and I told you last week I'm starting to come to your side on it. Because I was permissive, saying, all right, load management, I'm fine with it. I didn't love that Joel wasn't ready to start the year, but I'm fine with the load management. Let's just be healthy for the playoffs. But, man, I got to tell you, I don't say this often. Mikey Miss may be right. Ray, Mikey Miss may be right. The way this season has started.
That's not an unusual development. It's just that people don't want to admit that I'm right 99.9% of the time. So that doesn't affect me. What affects me is whether this season's in a toilet. That's what affects me.
I'm curious.
And I was wary of it going that way.
I'm curious still where they are, the Sixers, to make the playoffs. I mean, they're still a minus 550 on FanDuel to make the playoffs. So it's not gotten that crazy.
What is making the playoffs?
Yeah, it means nothing. I agree with you. That's not the ultimate goal.
In the top 10? Is that how you cash that ticket?
I guess so. I guess the play-in counts. No, this would be on the top 8. So this is based off of if you win the play-in. So this is the final 8 teams in the playoffs. But
yeah, so you could beat the Hawks and the Bulls once.
Yeah, you could beat the Hawks and the Bulls. And that's the thing. Like I don't know if they were talking about it in the morning show, but I saw it on Twitter. People talking about how this franchise has made the playoffs so many years in a row, and that really shouldn't be the goal. I know we're debating now whether or not they're going to make the playoffs. That's not the goal. But this was supposed to be the year they got out of the second round. And as you sit here today in November, how could you feel good that they're going to get out of the second round? It's a sad day, man.
Let's go to the text board, because apparently people are not as engaged in this as I am, which is fine. Listen, if you're not worried about it, you're a better person than I am. You really are, because I look at this and I see, sometimes I get instincts for what a season's going to be, and right now I have those instincts. It's like the NBA season hasn't even started for this franchise yet. Like, it's just like these guys are going through preseason games, and it doesn't really matter. And I'm going, it matters. All right, Ray, what do we got on the text board? Let's start with the Embiid, and then we'll get to text on the Detroit Lions.
All right, Mike in Media. No, he doesn't care. He got paid. He'll blame not playing on the trainers.
So he's saying Embiid doesn't care.
Correct. That's what he's saying. Joe from Boston. It's time to move on from Joel. Serious question. What value is placed on the current iteration of Joel? How much could we get in return? I know it's never going to happen, but I'd like to know how much his value has dropped. This team should be built around Tyrese and Jared, a la Curry and Thompson. With Joel here, that can't happen.
You can't build a team around Tyrese and McCain. I mean, you're 2'6" guards.
Yeah,
you're going to build a team around with both of them with defensive liabilities in the NBA.
Yeah, Clay's 6'5".
This is a misguided. Oh, Tyrese build around Tyrese. You can't build around Tyrese Maxey. Good player, star player in a lot of ways, but not a guy you can build around. He's not AI. This notion. This is why I'm bothered. You can't do anything about Embiid. He is here. You can't move on from him. This concept of moving on from him doesn't work either. So they got you in a vice trap here.
Well, all we got is hope. That's
exactly.
You got to just hope that when Joel gets into shape and Maxey comes back, that the big three will be able to carry this team.
Listen to what you just said.
That's all we got.
We got to hope when Joel gets in shape. It's November freaking 18th. 610-632-0975 back after this.